Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be doing a pantry makeover full of pantry organization ideas, creative storage solutions for any size pantry that you may have, big or small. We're going to get really creative with it, and I am going to show you how you can save some money and just get more of a functional space out of your pantry. This is actually my neighbor's pantry. She wanted some help organizing, and I was more than happy to do so. It took me about 30 plus minutes to clean out the pantry. That might not sound long, but it was back-breaking. You will see that I pulled everything out except for a few things right there, and this is what it looks like. I definitely made more of a mess, but we are going to get it all organized and looking so good. When we don't have a functional space with things organized, we often will purchase more than we need, and that is why organizing things is so important. It may be an investment in the beginning, but you will definitely be saving money in the long run. I got these trays here, these 3-tiered plastic trays from Amazon. I purchased 4 of them. I will have links and everything in my description box if that's something you are interested in. I particularly liked these because they were so thick, and I was able to put multiple things on here like these large cans. Next, I got these OXO Good Grips containers from Target as well as Home Goods. I also got these containers here. They were $9.99 each from Walmart, and they are part of the Home EdX brand. I really like this because it was very deep and the sides came up high. Also stackable. These bins here were from Home Goods as well, and I really like them because I like the clear acrylic containers. So the next thing I'm going to do is just fill up the soap with some warm soapy water, and you want to make sure you thoroughly clean all of your containers. When you're done cleaning, make sure you let them dry overnight or use a towel to dry them if you want to start organizing right away. You don't want any water in these containers because it'll have the crumbs stick to the sides. Also, before washing, I would generally recommend you guys pull the stickers and labels off. I was able to rub it right off after they got wet, but usually it's on the front of the containers, and that makes it very difficult. Have a blow dryer around. It will help pull up the labels great. If you have any residue left over, you can use Goo Gone or even some lemon essential oil. I am thoroughly drying all of the containers because I was going to get started on organizing right now, and I first grouped everything in here, and I had multiple bags of these raisins, and I'm going to put them in one of these containers. My hands are definitely clean. As you see, I start flattening everything out. I just want to keep that so you guys know, make sure your hands are nice and clean when you're dealing with all this food and putting them back in the containers. I love these containers because they are totally airtight, and it keeps your food fresher for much longer. So if you like to buy in bulk like I do, it just makes sense because you can have everything fresh. Also, I got these cranberries here. There were multiple open bags, and it was awesome just taking all these bags and putting them in the container. Another thing that I would like to mention is these containers are so great because if, again, you buy in bulk or you have multiple bags in your pantry as you're getting started, you can just condense everything in one. I also did this with the panko. There was seasoned panko and original panko, and these little pour containers were just perfect for this. Now, if there's any overflow, like you'll see when I'm doing the next set of panko, I will have a bin that says extra, and that will be for all of the overflow, for all of the things that were purchased in bulk that we don't need to have displayed, but you want to have them somewhere. So that's another little thing. You can put them in a basket, or you will see in a little bit where I put all of the overflow items. So I asked my client beforehand if there were multiple open things like this honey or the package of pecans and cranberries, if I could condense it, and she was completely on board and she wanted me to condense everything. So that is what I did. I took all of the same like honey and put it in this container. I did not choose to put the honey in a separate container because it just made sense to keep it right here. I'm also adding a multiple open package of oats and the coconut, sweetened coconut here as well. While I was off camera, I went ahead and filled up these 6-inch containers of some of the sprinkles, and here are more of the Home Edit brand. This is the laundry kit. This entire kit was $25 and it is more than worth it. I love the turntables as you see that I'm using here. They worked beautifully. I had actually purchased about 5 of regular turntables from HomeGoods. I ended up returning them because the ones in the Home Edit supply the kit was just absolutely perfect and it turned so smoothly. I got this bin here from Amazon. I got a lot of things from Amazon, so if I forget to link anything, just let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely get that. This is one of those bins I got from HomeGoods. I purchased a ton of these, and these are also the bins I have in my pantry. I love these because the top or the sides come up really high and it helps keep the food in there. So I'm going to fill up this large container. This is also a cereal container. You can absolutely think outside of the box and use the items that you get, the containers, for whatever you need. Here is another cereal container that I am going to be putting pecans in. There were so many bags of pecans, and again, I condensed it all and was able to put it in this container right here, which was super easy. My client is an avid baker. I had noticed that when I was in here, so I wanted to keep all of her baking supplies pretty close and handy. Next, we had all of these containers for the cereal, and I just filled them all up so it is completely tidy on the top of the shelf. She also has a granddaughter living with her right now, so I took all of the snacks and fruit boxes and put them in here, but I made it very accessible for the little girl to be able to get whenever she wanted to grab a snack, or if mom, dad, or grandparents wanted to get her a snack. As I mentioned, I really liked these containers from the Home Edit line. I got them from Walmart. They were $9.99 each because they stacked, and that was so awesome. The ones I got from HomeGoods were so beautiful and definitely probably a little bit affordable, coming in about $6.50 each container. But I like that these were so easy because they stacked on top of each other, and that way you were able to save even more space and not such a large pantry. So you have to think about those things. Even though the price was better for the ones from HomeGoods, when you are saving space, it is okay to spend a little bit of extra money when you know it's going to make sense in your area. I also got these resealable, reusable containers here for any of the leftover snacks that were left over for the little one to be able to grab. This bin is from the Bright Room collection at Target. I like these so much because I was able to put her seasonal candies and snacks in here. I also had another bin that I put all the candy in. I made sure to put them in a white bin so it wouldn't quite be so accessible when they wanted something. They didn't see candy right away. So that is a little trick. If there is something that you really like but you don't want to get to it too often because you don't want to eat it that often, don't put it in a clear container so it's sitting there just looking at you when you walk into the pantry. The next thing, all of her spices were right here, and in my mind I wanted to put all of them in glass containers, 6 and 8 ounce containers, as well as spice containers. But after talking to her, she informed me that the men in the house are the cooks, the chefs. So I decided to leave them in here because, quite honestly, they do not want to use glass containers, pretty containers, when they are barbecuing and grilling. So it just made sense to keep them in their containers. What I did do, if there were more than one and they were both open, I would just fill one up and put the other one in the extra pile. I also make sure to organize them all. As you see, I have the sprinkles and whatnot on the top, and then I have the McCormick brand, and then I continued on with like-sized bottles to make it more easy to get to. I also wanted to alphabetize it, but it just didn't make sense because all of the bottles were kind of varying size, and I thought it looked a lot better to have everything very like looking, so that way it could be easy to grab. So this is an overview of what it looks like before I start putting labels on everything. I don't put labels on every single container, but on the majority of them I will. I love these turntable styles containers because it keeps all the sauces right in there, and the walls are high enough so they don't fall out when spinning. So I used my Cricut for these containers. I just used a regular old smart vinyl. Highly recommend. I love it because you save a lot of money by being able to make your own labels. If you don't have a Cricut or some sort of vinyl cutting machine, you can always find these labels on Amazon or Etsy. So I came up with the font. Let me know if you guys are interested in knowing which one it is, and I made the labels for specific things. I love the way this all came together, and also I like having labels for things that I know will not change. Example, this bin will always be for baking. Both of the bins that I label for baking will always have baking supplies in it. Now, some of the things that I did not label was to let the homeowner be able to decide if she wanted to use something else. Like when they had some keto crackers, I did not label that keto crackers. When they had granola, I didn't label that granola because it could very well be something else, and you don't want to limit your containers by putting labels on it. That way you can't use it for something else in the future. These bins were $9 from Target. I purchased 2 of them. I really like them because they are very high up on the sides. Large bins. I have these in my pantry as well for the chips and the bread. It just makes sense if you have so many chips and so many bags of bread. It keeps it all in here, and also those items can often look very cluttered, so that's why I opted for the white color opposed to clear. While I was cleaning out her pantry, I noticed she had a ton of recipe cards from some of her meal kits, so I took it upon myself to get a 1-inch binder as well as sheet protectors as just a little gift to her, and put everything in a very easy to access spot here. She also had a ton of condiments and other things that went with these, and I put those in a special place as well. Now I'm starting to put everything back in the pantry, and I am loving the way it turned out. Everything is super functional. All of her baking supplies is right here on this side of the pantry, so she will know where to go when she is ready to bake. Organization is supposed to work for you. I am hoping that this video inspires you and encourages you to make your space more functional that works for you. I love the way the cans turned out. Everything is all aligned so perfectly, and they will be able to grab everything they need with ease, which is the whole point of organization. It makes your life easier. You do not want to overthink organizing. First step, get rid of the things that you don't need and then just move on from there. I am so happy with the way this turned out. I love it. Let me know if you guys want to see me do a dollar store version. I will definitely be sure to do that soon. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Love y'all.